Hi guys, Gareth here from Asma Garanga, and today we're going to be talking about the Europa League and what exactly went down yesterday. Now if you haven't watched the Europa League, then if you don't generally watch the Europa League, you don't really follow it too much, you probably won't know too much, but Chelsea, Newcastle and Tottenham were the English teams in the quarterfinals. Newcastle lost 3-1 away at Benfica last week, and Tottenham drew 2-2 at home to Basel. This week, Newcastle went out because they drew 1-1 at home, and Tottenham lost on penalties to Basel. Not what I'm going to be talking about in this video is mainly just whether I think Chelsea can win and who I want to win, so yeah. So these are the teams which remain in the competition, and these are the Europa League semi-final draws. Be Benfica versus FENERBAHCE and FC Basel versus Chelsea. Now in a minute I'm going to give you my predictions, but first of all I'm going to do a slight overview of each club, just very brief, a few players that you may know who play for them, and yeah, so let's go on with that. So I'm going to start with FC Basel, and their main player is Alexander Frey, former Borussia Dortmund striker, had a decent record in Germany. I believe he's like 33 I think now, but he's got a good record, he's a very good player. But they've also got players like Philip Dagen, who used to play for Liverpool, and I can't remember the other one I know. Oh yes, Dragovic, obviously a big young player on FIFA, very popular in career mode in particular. FC Basel take on Chelsea, and obviously we all know Chelsea. Got players like Torres, who's been doing well in the Europa League. Got experienced players like Terry, Lampard, and I'm sure now they're in the semi-final they're going to be taking this really seriously. So Terry, Lampard, you've got Cech, Ashley Cole, so many big names in there. I'm not going to go name everyone because I think everyone knows their squad pretty well. But yeah, they're a very good team, and I believe they can beat Basel, so yeah, but I'll talk about that more in a minute. Benfica have a really interesting team. They've got some experience in there, and Oscar Cardozo, Pablo Aimar, and Luis Sá, of course, who's their captain, I believe, who's very good. But they've also got some young players like Garay and Matic in there, and Gaitan, I believe, is like 25, which is relatively young. Then they've got the just class players like Lima, Rodrigo, Maxi Pereira, Ola John, and Salvio, Eduardo Salvio, I believe his name. His name is the one who scored against Newcastle, so in the away leg. So yeah, they've got some really good players, a really strong squad, and are probably one of the favourites for the competition now, definitely. So yeah, now I will talk about Fenerbahce, and yeah, Fenerbahce have a really strong squad, and they're a team I really like. First of all, they got players like Demirel, who's a Turkish legend. He's been there. I believe he's been Turkey's goalie for a good few years now, and he's a really good player. Another one that I believe a lot of people would have forgotten about, another Turkish player, is Emre. He used to play for Newcastle, of course. So yeah, really good player when he was there. Really good at free kicks, so really dangerous player. He's a central midfielder. But they've also got Raul Morales beside him. They've got Stock, Dirk Kuyt, Musa Sal, who's a really good striker, Joseph Yobo, the former Everton player, Milios Krasic, Reto Ziegler, I believe, is on loan from Juventus, Mehmet Topuz, who's a really good player, Pierre Webo, who used to be a really good player. He isn't as good as he used to be, but he's still a decent player. So yeah, I believe that's all I can remember from their squad. Yeah, I can't remember any more from their squad, to be honest. But they're their biggest players, and for me, Fenerbahce are the team that I will be supporting in this competition. I know I should support the British team, but I don't really want Chelsea to win it. I really enjoy watching Fenerbahce. They've got some great players, so Fenerbahce Benfica is definitely a match I'm going to be tuning in for, really excited for it. FC Basel versus Chelsea, I don't really care about. One of them's going to make the final. I'll watch the final as well, but yeah, Benfica and Fenerbahce were two of the teams that I was really, looking forward to watching at the start of this tournament. Well, when it got to the knockout phases, that's when I start watching. I don't bother with the group stages because, to be honest, it's just too much, along with the Champions League. But no, when it gets to the knockout stage, I start taking notice of the Europa League. And Fenerbahce and Benfica are the two of the teams that I was really watching. Newcastle was another one. So yeah. So now I'm going to move on to my predictions. Now, as you can see, my predictions are already on the screen. You can see it's 3-2 to Fenerbahce. This is over 2 legs, by the way. 3-2 to Fenerbahce and 5-3 to Chelsea. Now, I'm going to give my reasons for that. first of all, I'm going to say I don't think anyone's not going to score a goal. I think everyone's going to get a goal, because I just think their goals in these teams, they're not teams that like to sit back. They generally like a more attacking side of football. I think Fenerbahce have like are probably the most likely team to sit on a lead. I think Benfica just aren't that kind of team. Chelsea, actually no, I'd say Chelsea just because they're British and more likely to sit on the lead. But yeah, but I'm going to talk about the actual games now. So Benfica versus Fenerbahce. I think Benfica will win the first leg 2-1. The reason I think they'll beat Fenerbahce at home, I believe the first leg's at home. Actually, I should have checked this really. Oh, well, I think Benfica will win the home leg 2-1 and lose the away leg 2-0. Simply because I think Fenerbahce are too good at home, and I think they're going to nick a goal away because they've got experienced players like Dirk Kuyt, but they've also got players who would just have that quality like Musa Sal, who can just get you a goal. Whereas Benfica, yes, they've got Cardozo, Rodrigo and Lima, 3 really good strikers, but I just don't think they're going to have enough to go over Fenerbahce. Maybe it's because Fenerbahce are the team I'm kind of rooting for. Maybe I'm a bit biased towards them. I wouldn't mind seeing Benfica go through. That they're the 2 teams that I've been following since the start that are actually still in. So yeah, both have good chances of winning. That's why I think it's going to be tight. But I think Fenerbahce will ultimately prevail. Now I'm going to move on to FC Basel versus Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to dominate their home leg. They'll probably win 3-0 maybe, and then I think they'll go away and they'll do a Real Madrid and lose 3-2. Exactly what Real Madrid did against Galatasaray, another Turkish team who did very well in Europe along with Fenerbahce. But yeah, ultimately I think Chelsea are just that little bit better than Tottenham are, and also a little bit better than Basel. I think it'll be 5-3 over the 2 legs. Tell me what you think about, first of all, who you think is going to win the tournament. I will be doing more probably after the first leg's been played, and then tell you where my predictions are then, and I'll definitely update you on for the final. And yeah, just get my predictions in for the final. Hopefully it will be Fenerbahce versus Chelsea. I would love to see that, but Benfica versus Chelsea or Benfica versus Basel, or Fenerbahce versus Basel would be just as fun. I will watch it anyway. Whatever happens, I know it's going to be 2 great teams in the final and 4 great teams in the semis. Definitely worth watching both matches. I'm not sure whether they're on at the same time or not. Can I actually check that now? I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to check quickly on the internet if they are on at the same time, because that'd be really annoying for me. But yeah, I think hopefully Fenerbahce can do it, but you never know what's going to happen. They are on at the same time, so I'll probably watch Fenerbahce at home in the first leg. I was saying Basel also at home in the first leg. So for me, I'm going to be watching the first leg. I'll be watching probably Chelsea away at Basel. I think that'll be most interesting, and also I think it'll be the one that gets shown on British TV. And then 2nd of May, I'll be watching Fenerbahce away at Benfica. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it, and of course subscribe if you haven't already seen it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.